Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that's going to let you make one super easily. And then you can distribute it everywhere and even earn money doing this. All in one place. And it's free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters. Here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and even edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are heard.
Ever since we discovered Spotify for Podcasters, it's been really great. Really get the people involved and ask questions and get ideas for new podcasts. So it's really helped us. And I highly recommend you give it a try. So download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started.
If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
All right, kids. Listen.
Don't
Podcast,
listen to this.
if you're not of age.
What's of age?
This is 18 and up. Look, we're a bunch of dudes, and we're going to say some really bad words. And probably some things that might offend you. But
Don't listen to this.
can't wait till you listen.
Yeah, don't
If
do
you're
it.
18 and up.
Don't do it.
If you're 18 and
Yeah.
up.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Conspiracy Podcast.
We're here again.
Let's do it.
What are we, episode
35.
5? Yeah.
Sounds about right.
That's many.
Things are picking up. Things are getting a little crazy.
Yeah, we haven't quit yet, so that's good.
We love all the feedback. We're getting pretty heavy on Facebook and a lot of disagreements, which is fine.
Hey, you know what?
We
You
welcome
can
it,
disagree
for
with
sure.
us.
I mean, that's almost our point is to create not I want to say discord, but like to create conversation.
To
There you go,
question
yes.
everything.
Thank
Yes.
you. That's
Yes.
what it is for. Thank you. That's a
Also,
tagline.
as a reminder, we are 3 guys with 3 high school diplomas. Nothing more.
I mean,
We got a high school diploma, but we got a PhD in conspiracy.
we do not claim to be experts at all.
And what did we establish? We have a Eagle Scout.
We have an Eagle Scout
Sean went to college for
to be a
chemistry.
chemical engineer.
And I played baseball throughout high
And I
school.
played baseball in high school.
Okay, so we are now diving into Jeffrey Epstein.
The big douche himself.
Yeah, this took a bit to put together, but
It's a heavy one.
in every survey, in every poll, it was always in the top 5, top 10
yeah.
of what people wanted to do. So
Because it's still fucked up.
yeah, no, and
and
this
it's pretty fresh compared to a bunch of other conspiracy we've been doing, right?
You're gonna see. I mean, you guys know a lot of the story already.
Oh, yeah.
You guys know a lot of the research itself, but you're gonna see there's many people who are still around today.
I mean,
who
most of them.
yeah,
Most of them are still
except for
around.
Jeffrey.
I know exactly. He's the only one.
So this should be 3 episodes, maybe 4.
Depending.
We'll see how long it takes us to get through this. The first episode, I'm just giving you guys
The rundown
what we're
here.
going to do. So episode 1 is going to be about the life of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
Mm-hmm.
And then episode 2 is going to be all about abuse
Yeah.
and just
Yep.
what they did, including the flight, the Lolita Express, who was on it,
The island.
all that stuff.
The
Episode 3 is the island.
Okay.
because there's also his Palm Springs house,
Yes.
which is a whole thing
Oof,
too. Like
yes.
God.
So episode 3 should be about his island and his death. And then if we need episode 4, we'll do it.
then we'll
All right.
then we'll divvy dive into that.
All right, well, here we go. You want to dive in?
Let's do it.
Okay, so Jeffrey Epstein was arrested for the final time July 6, 2018. He was charged with sex trafficking minors in the state of Florida and New York. Federal authorities have identified 36 girls who came forward or who admitted
That some shit went down.
Yeah, being abused by Epstein.
Yeah.
That's so many.
36.
And that's just the ones that came
That's just
forward.
what we know about. Yeah.
Shit.
Right. That's right. So this is also only in the 2000s generally that the people came forward. There's not a lot in the 90s and the 80s.
Right.
Everyone was way too afraid.
Yeah.
And like there was I feel like when you were a rich piece
You're
of shit.
too powerful.
Oh, you're too powerful. You
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
destroy. Or they pay them off.
That,
They just pay them off and they shut the fuck up and they just be miserable for the rest of their lives.
Big time. Yeah. So a couple people have said, a couple witnesses, they say they saw 70 to 80 girls come in.
Oh, I'd be surprised if it's not in the hundred. It's
Yeah.
in hundreds, if not thousands.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, because it went on for years.
And it's also just not. I mean, that might just be the 36 that came forward with just Jeffrey fucking with them, not
Yes.
including all
that's
the
true,
other
that's
people
true.
that were involved.
That's
You know,
true.
so it's got. I totally think it's in the thousands.
True. So he was arrested July 2018. By August, he was found dead in his cell.
Such just fucking God. I'm not gonna say shit.
Same year, just a month later.
Yeah.
Basically saying
we'll wait to get into that. It's,
Yeah, and so 6 days later, the New York medical examiner ruled it as suicide.
okay. We can't talk about this right now because I'm gonna get too fired up.
So if you didn't know about Epstein, that's the short synopsis of what all of it is about.
Of the end.
What
Yeah.
happened,
Right.
you know, what all of it is about. What's really crazy to me is his story of what he got away with, I guess
his rise.
Yes,
to like,
his rise.
His rise
is
is
crazy.
It's bizarre.
Yeah,
it almost
it is.
doesn't. You can't even write like a fake story about it because
Yeah.
it's too too ridiculous.
It's like those
so
like
ridiculous.
the Ponzi scheme people that you just all of a sudden they just rise and you're what the hell, where did this guy come from? But yeah, he was connected as
If
we'll
you wrote
see.
a book and said, "Oh, this guy did this, and that," you'd be like,
It's a lie.
There's too much fantasy."
I know it's like Harry,
This is not
Harry
real.
Potter
Yes,
spinoff.
yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous.
So Jeffrey Epstein was born January 20th, 1953 in Brooklyn. His mother, Pauline, worked as a part-time school aide. His father, Seymour, was a groundskeeper for the New York City Department of Parks and Recs.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay, so his mom is a teacher. His dad is a groundskeeper. He had a younger brother named Mark.
That's like humble beginnings.
Yeah, it's like
those are good people.
middle America.
That's right.
type.
Epstein was considered remarkably bright. He even skipped 2 grades.
Wow. Okay.
How? We don't know. I don't know.
Anybody can be smart in 6th grade. I mean, let's be real.
So he graduated Brooklyn's Lafayette High at the age of 16.
Okay.
Okay, because he
That's fine.
moved a little forward.
Yeah.
Okay. He enrolled at Cooper Union and
Whatever the
later
fuck that
New
is.
York University in the late 70s, but he dropped out of both.
Yeah, remarkably bright my ass.
Okay. And so already things get weird.
Instantly.
Already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He dropped out of those schools, so he only had a high school diploma.
Yes.
Okay. Us.
Like us. It's like us. Us 3.
Yes,
Right now.
us. So at 16, well, it's not 16 anymore.
'cause he went to school for a little
He got a
bit.
couple credits,
Yeah.
whatever. Okay.
So he took like PE.
So then, so then in the Upper East Side at a prep school named Dalton School, he got a job as a teacher teaching calculus and physics.
What?
But he has no degree. He has
hell?
no qualifications at all.
Nothing.
So like, how did that happen?
How? I have no idea.
Especially
I
at a
don't get
prep
it.
school because people pay
Yeah.
a lot of money for those, especially in New York.
Yeah.
They pay big dollars for that shit.
So he worked there for 2 years. He was fired.
For what?
So it was for poor performance. Whatever.
Yeah, because he
no
doesn't
idea
know
what he
shit.
did.
He's not a professor.
Like,
Calculus.
they're like, dude, we gave you 2 years to figure this shit out. You have not done anything.
Honestly, I remember in high school, I think I did 1 period in calculus. So I had calculus 001. Like it was like, what does calculus mean? That was it.
I still don't even know what that means. I skipped all that.
I mean, I think it's perfect. He probably chose that because it's so confusing. That
Yes, nobody
he,
knows
like,
it.
No, he doesn't even have to explain anything. Just like read the shit. You decide, and everyone's like calculus.
Yeah. He probably already had white hair by then. His glasses.
Giant face. Like,
Reminds me of like, what was that? Catch Me If You Can or whatever. He,
yeah. No,
he
you're
just
right.
reads one chapter ahead and then he just teaches them.
You're right. I concur, doctor. Do you concur?
I should have concurred. It's so good.
Okay, so but an important thing is that before he left his teaching job at Dalton, he was able to make a connection with one of the parents. And one of those parents was named Alan Greenberg. Alan Greenberg was the CEO of Bear Stearns.
It's like what the? That's rewind. This is what I mean by these prep schools being expensive. The
Yes.
CEO of a giant hedge fund. Like, this dude's rich as fuck. Like, Park Ave, like, penthouse level type dude.
Not even just rich, like
Powerful.
One of the
top
richest people on earth. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, he's top 1%. And he's, I teach your son calculus. We should be homies.
And, Alan Greenberg became pretty famous in his own right, later on, and with the whole collapse of the economic markets and stuff like that. Anyways. Yeah. So he got that whatever. And why all we know is that he was impressed by Epstein's ability to use and to manipulate numbers.
It was probably just to manipulate
So
people.
all it was is he's good at math.
I guarantee it was.
But he got fired for calculus.
performance.
Poor performance.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was most likely because, as we'll probably get into, he was a very charismatic. People.
I think that's
I think it was just
That's the main
he
thing,
was
I
probably
think.
able to manipulate this guy into thinking that he was something that he wasn't. So the guy's like, "Damn, this guy's the shit."
That's true.
He was a talker.
It's true.
He was
Yeah.
He knew how to talk his way into everything.
So Alan Greenberg gave him a job. It was an assistant job in 1976 at Bear Stearns. It gets even weirder. Over a couple years, he climbed the ladder.
It's miraculous.
From an assistant to just climbing a ladder, until he was literally made partner.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Which people work their entire lives and never get partner.
And he did it pretty much in his early 20s.
But also, you don't normally start off as an assistant and then you're made partner of Bear Stearns.
Especially Bear Stearns.
Yeah.
Did he ever take his Series 7? Did he ever get his trading license? How the fuck do you make partner at a company that trades stuff? I
know.
When
Honestly,
you don't have a stuff
Yeah.
trading, the
Honestly, it's so weird. It just, what did he do?
Dude, I'm gonna look up.
We don't
if he
really
ever took
know.
a Series 7.
What are you looking up?
So the Series 7 is what you take in order to trade
Other people's
Securities.
money.
to trade securities. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a securities license.
It's really so you can
So you can
take somebody
advise
else's,
people. Yeah.
because we can trade securities. But
Yeah, but when you're gonna
can you take
advise
somebody
people-
else's
I
money?
can't take
Yeah.
somebody else's money to do
There
it.
you go.
I have
That's
to use
right.
my
Yes.
own money.
Yes, that's right.
I can do anything I want with my own money. But being able to, that's why people say not financial advice.
Yes.
Because they don't
Yeah.
have a
And then they
license.
give you financial
They don't
advice.
have a license to actually give you financial advice.
Yeah.
So
Just
they're
so you
like,
know,
not financial
this
advice.
is not financial advice. Sell this shit now. What I know is a reoccurring theme in this is that how he got his money, nobody really knows.
Dude, it's super vague.
Like at the end of this, I'll tell you his net worth, but when he
if you're a
died,
partner at Bear
no, but
Stearns,
hear it
you
out.
got
Hear it
some
out.
money.
No, hear it out. He left in 81.
So he was
So a couple years later,
He makes partner. He's
He's like, gets to the top. Peace.
He takes the buyout package. Like, I'm out.
He was there less than 4 years.
And he gets to partner in 4 years after being a teacher for 2 years that he couldn't do.
So he left and he established his own financial consulting firm. And he called
Fuck you
it,
guys. I'm gonna go start my own shit.
I can do this better.
and he called it Intercontinental Asset Group, which he specialized in helping clients recover embezzled funds and also assisted clients who were the embezzlers.
What? Wait, what?
It's like
I'm a
some
professional
Wolf of Wall
embezzler.
Street type shit, man.
Consulted them on
He's like, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go to the Bahamas, okay? You're gonna open up an account. In your grandmother's name. You know she's dead. That doesn't matter. They don't care.
I'm gonna teach you how to embezzle this.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a little place we go. It's called the Bermuda Triangle.
Everything just disappears.
Don't worry.
There. Don't worry.
The devil's triangle.
Don't worry.
All the paper trails disappear.
Everything disappears here.
Yeah, hop on the Lolita Express.
Oh my god.
How brazen is that?
For an additional 6% on your initial investment.
Hey guys, hope we're enjoying the show so far. We wanted to take a break and just remind you of the different ways that you can support our podcast. The first and foremost is you can subscribe by clicking the follow button on Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts. It's on the show page. It's really easy. You just click it and subscribe. What this does is it makes it so you get notified every new release that comes out. Another way is by simply following us on social media. This is Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, etc. But one of the best ways that you can support our podcast is to help us grow. And how do you do that? You can share the show with friends and family. Okay, thanks a bunch, everybody. Now back to the show. Okay, so that was what he said he did at that company. And it was around that time that there are multiple reports of his colleagues saying that he said that he was an agent. Foreign intelligence agent.
I mean, you know what this sounds like? This sounds like he's like an actually more intelligent Lee Harvey Oswald. Because Lee Harvey Oswald's like, I'm a quadruple agent. Right. I'm working for the Russians.
And he was also a job hopper.
I know, job hopper. He's had like 72 jobs in like 8 years.
Although that claim has never been verified. These are just witnesses, third-party witnesses saying that he said it.
100% believe he did
that. He said it.
Oh, 1,000%.
Whether or not we believe that he was a foreign agent for,
dude, this
you know what I mean, Iran.
This guy's been bullshitting everybody since he was 16.
Yeah,
like he's a professional bullshitter.
Yeah. So, but the only thing that continues to make that a real thing is that he constantly was traveling overseas, and he knew all these government people. You know what I mean? He started to get in the limelight of all the people that are hot.
Yeah, he was a schmoozer, and he was connected with some powerful
I think he did the right. That's why he had that money laundering company.
Yeah,
that's where you get in with all the bigwigs. Oh, how much money did you make illegally? I'll let you boy. Yeah. Look, just don't arrest me next time, okay?
I'll show you how to embezzle this.
Yeah, I guarantee that's how he got all those, lines in with all the top.
Yeah. So we fast forward a little bit. He set up something called J. Epstein and Company in 1982, and this is where it gets even more vague. So now we're going to just speak in vagaries because
it's unknown.
There's not a lot of information.
Yeah, you
know what I mean?
Can't
even to this day.
Yeah. Shell company. Like, you don't know shit.
Yeah. So in 1987, Epstein began consulting for a collection agency called Tower Financial, which ended up being a $500 million Ponzi scheme.
Oh, Jesus.
People say Epstein was one of the people behind it, but
he never got convicted.
Never got anything. It fell apart.
Fancy that.
Yeah.
It fell apart in the early 90s.
Oh, it just fell apart.
And he made like $200 billion from that. Like, whoopsies.
Yeah. So then in 1988, Epstein's company, J. Epstein & Co., it transformed, I guess, to a financial management firm where he said he only served billionaires. So he basically said, the only clients I take are people with a net worth of $1 billion or more.
And at that time, just to put it in perspective, there's probably like 60.
Right.
Literally 60 on Earth.
Nowadays, there's like fucking 600.
Now there's like 300, 400. There's 300 or 400 now.
Honestly, you get one client, you're like, I'm in.
I'm rich. Well,
Yeah.
I think even if you make, let's say you make 3 to 4% tops on what they invest, rich as fuck.
That's right.
And you get bonuses if they make a certain amount. Like, dude, you need one dude in your set.
That's what we got to be doing.
I know. Why do we need to get 100,000 podcast listeners? We just need one.
Listen, this is not financial advice. If you're a billionaire and you're listening,
we just need one subscriber that's a billionaire.
Yeah, I will teach you calculus.
If we get one billionaire that's listening right now to invest, I will take the test.
Yes,
and then we'll go from there
together. I'll pay someone to take the test.
Don't worry, you can subscribe via like Monero cryptocurrency.
We're gonna give you
whatever it's called.
Eternal ad free.
Yeah. Okay, so at this time, this is when he met and became the official financial advisor to Leslie Wexner. Have you heard of him?
Leslie Wexner is the gentleman who he owns Victoria's Secret.
Billionaire.
He also owns a bunch of other shit. He's big in retail fashion.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He's a billionaire. He lives in Columbus. His main headquarters is in Columbus, Ohio.
Nice.
I'm from Ohio, so that's why I know.
Shout out to Ohio.
Hey, OH.
Let's go Buckeyes. I don't know.
And my Buckeye fans know what's up. OH. They're saying IO in their cars right now. IO.
Okay, so he became the official financial advisor for him. And in the mid-90s, he moved L Brand and Victoria's Secret, the corporation, and J. Epstein Company to the U.S. Virgin Islands. This is a common practice where you're avoiding taxes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Apple is in Ireland.
Yeah,
it's like you just avoid taxes.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to say it's right or wrong to move your company there. You know what I mean? Like it is a way to avoid taxes.
It's wrong to pay taxes. Let me tell you that.
It's not illegal.
I agree. No,
it's not illegal at all. But I just noticed in journalism, whenever somebody says it, it's a negative connotation.
Oh yeah.
No, but the thing is,
he moved to a shady island in the Bahamas to skirt paying the United States its due money.
Well,
that's usually
that's kind of like the message behind it.
The thing that's so stupid about that is you realize that there's a tax code. people are like, we need to make billionaires pay more money, but like, they're never going to pay more.
No,
because
they're
the whole
just
point.
working the
They're
system.
literally
They're
using
just-
the tax
yeah,
code.
they're following.
Change the tax code.
That's the exact thing of capitalism is to try to
make as
try
much
to
as
make
possible
much as
without
you
giving
can.
any away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So by 1992, Epstein purchased the largest private residence in Manhattan.
So he purchased that from Leslie Wexner.
There you go.
So Leslie, this is a really weird thing about this.
Yeah.
Wexner, I think he originally paid like close to $70 or $80 million for this fucking.
Now, let me just tell you where this
92,
is.
is that what you said?
He bought it earlier, but that's
Yeah.
when Epstein bought it from Wexner.
Epstein bought it from Wexner for
thin,
$20 million.
I remember you telling me.
Yeah.
Bought it for $20 million.
When it was
That's,
worth.
Dude, he literally bought it for 25% of the cost.
That's.
Let me just tell you,
crazy.
this place, have you been to New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Have you been to Central Park and stuff?
yeah.
Why does Eric think I've never left the fucking city here?
I know, I'm just
Jorge's
making-
been in New York more times than I have, and I was born there. I was literally born in New York.
I haven't been there that many times.
Jorge's
I've been there a few
many
times.
Okay, keep
I
going.
always see the pictures you post and you go,
I know. I've been there many times.
me and the wife
I just happened to be looking at him. I'm not.
racist.
Okay, so Central Park, right? You can basically throw a rock from this place to Central Park.
Yeah.
That's how close it is to the hotness.
And
You know what I mean?
it's fuck humongous. It's
Massive.
massive. Dude,
Yes.
it's massive.
It's massive.
Like
so
what? Like a multi-story
Oh,
penthouse?
dude, yeah. It's like a house.
Yeah.
So it's like 20,000 square feet. Like,
Wow.
at the time, it's the biggest residential home in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was worth probably $80 million at that time, and he paid $20 million for it.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's weird.
So then the
And
question,
fishy.
So when
For
we
sure.
so when we bring that up, where did he get the money? How did he talk Wexner into doing this?
yeah. Hey, give it to me. Give it to me for 25 cents on the dollar.
Yeah. How
Trust
easy
me on
is it
this.
to tell a
Well,
billionaire?
what was he holding over him?
That's
You
the
know?
point.
Now
That's the
I don't
point.
usually jump on these with you guys on the.
No, you don't.
You know
You're usually like,
the
well, they were
completely
homies,
no
bro.
data, but this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And I'm actually on board with you. There's something like he's doing something. It can't just be all charisma.
No, the thing is, like,
Can it?
Right.
If
you cannot charisma your way out of 60 million.
Dude, if you like listen to any of the billionaires talk, that they're almost every single billionaire is notoriously shrewd.
Yeah.
They're like, no, I know every penny I spend. I'm not fucking not a one thing's out. I need to control everything.
Do you think
he's not going to let 60 mil slide, bro?
Do you think Bill Gates is wasting his money on Uber Eats, a little Chick-fil-A doubles?
Not
You
a
know what I
fucking
mean?
one. He's
Not
like, I'm going to buy all the farmland on Earth.
I'm gonna donate to this cause. They'll get it to me for free forever.
Forever. He's like, I own Uber Eats.
Okay, so within a few years, Epstein bought homes in Paris, Miami, New Mexico, and bought an entire island called Little St. James.
It's like, where's all this money coming from? This is so much cash.
Okay, you bought an island, a home in Paris, a home in Miami, and a ranch
and
in
the
New
most
Mexico.
expensive home in New York.
He's got one client, and he can't be investing that much with you for you to then become a billionaire yourself.
Yeah.
It's just weird
So
how he like
there's-
magically is, I'm the richest motherfucker on earth.
Yeah.
It's all on credit. Listen, American Express.
Yeah.
Trust me on this. look at who I'm connected with.
Can you imagine?
I'm gonna need a credit line.
Third days.
$2 billion.
Third days, no big deal.
$2 billion. What's the interest rate on that?
Don't worry about it.
Somebody who was close to him, like an investor, told New York Magazine in 2002, he said, "My belief is that Jeff maintains some sort of money management firm, though you won't get a straight answer from him.
Because he's a pathological liar.
He once told me that he had 300 people working for him. And I've also heard that he manages Rockefeller's money. But no one ever knows. It's like looking at the Wizard of Oz.
First of all, no one
maybe-
manages Rockefeller money, bro. Rockefeller is the money. Like they are the money. You can't manage them. They manage you.
Yeah, exactly.
It blows my mind. So in early 2000s, Epstein expanded to financing media companies, developing securities funding, hedge funds, startups. He created his own nonprofit called Jeffrey Epstein V Foundation. He donated one of the biggest gifts in one time to Harvard of $30 million in one gift to Harvard.
But why Harvard? Of all places.
Yeah.
It's like, first
He didn't even go there.
of all, you're from New York and you're going to be like, give it to the Boston schools? You traitor.
He donated to Harvard.
He didn't go anywhere.
You're going to love this.
Give it to your high school.
He donated to Harvard to establish a mathematical biology and evolutionary dynamics program.
Dude,
What the fuck?
he's like Disney. He's like, this is donated to the cryogenics department
Yeah.
at Harvard.
It just sounds like one big Ponzi scheme going on. Like
just
a
money,
lot of
money,
these
money
stories
moving
sound
it.
Look
so
how
similar.
success-
Yeah,
I'm
it
so
sounds so
successful.
similar to the Madoff shit, where he's just taking money and then he's donating over here to make himself
right.
look a certain way, and
Yeah, it's
like
like, look
pay
how
off-
rich I am.
Yeah, pay off certain people, make certain connections,
It's
but
almost
then everybody
exactly the
just thinks
same.
you have money
Yeah.
somehow.
It's smart
You're just
because
fucking
you use
shuffling
the
shit
money
around.
to pay the money to
Yeah.
then get more money to use
Yeah.
the money to pay the.
Yeah.
But nothing, well, maybe you're going to get into this, I don't know, but like nothing was ever found out as far as like a Ponzi scheme that he was running,
Nope.
right?
No.
Yeah.
So he hit it better than Madoff.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
But
Madoff
he
got
also
caught.
That's
also
what it
Madoff
is.
Madoff was taking from thousands of people.
Oh no, Madoff had a big one because it was so many people involved that
Yeah.
he couldn't keep up with the
So-
Joneses.
Yeah. So it almost seems like Epstein just had 3.
And he's like, "Hey,
Does that make sense?
He's
You
like,
just take 3 billionaires and you're
give me more. Trust me. Look what I'm doing over here,
Yeah.
bro. I'm gonna make that money back easy, tenfold."
I don't know
Yeah,
though.
but to your point, like a billionaire is counting every single penny
they're
going out that they're
shrewd.
investing.
So,
so what do you think?
He had to have something over these guys.
So what do you think?
know?
He took Lexner out in Ohio. He took him out on the town, got him drunk,
did
got some girls.
Video of
You're
him?
Like,
I
you're
think
like,
he got-
we're homies now.
he got
some
ride or
blackmail on
die.
him.
It's not we're homies now. It's hey, I got pictures of you with that 15-year-old homie. I think you're my number one investor now.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And I'll take an X fee.
Oh, yeah, he's like, yeah,
Annual fee.
annual fee, and you know
Of
what? I
what?
like that house. 20 million sounds good, right?
Yeah.
And he's like,
what's 2% of $1 billion? 20 million.
20 million.
20 million a year. 10 years, 200 million. Make some moves.
Yeah, but he wasn't investing $1 billion. He was worth maybe
No,
$1
but
billion.
if you're managing it,
No, Lexner's worth
No,
like
no, but he's
5 or
maybe-
6 billion.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
But still, it's like
It gets even crazier,
but
just so
even
you
when-
know. It gets even
I know.
dumber.
No, but
I
even
know.
when even when you're worth $1 billion, like for example, Elon Musk is worth 200 billion, but that's net worth. So that's all of his assets. And he
Yeah.
also
Right, that's what I'm saying.
He legally
Yeah.
can't sell all of his stock and then
Right.
cash out. So he can't do
He
it.
just
So
fucking crashed
So
the
like in terms
market
of
or
like
something,
in terms of like liquidity,
Yeah.
maybe he's got the biggest credit line on the universe. And he's
Bottom line, he's making 20, maybe even more million from this guy, just from one guy.
perhaps maybe we don't even
Perhaps,
know.
yeah.
Or maybe he's just getting gifted it because he's like, do it now. I'll fucking expose you.
So at this point, somebody submitted in his crew that he should be put on the Forbes billion list. But Forbes disputed that he was a billionaire.
Yeah, but we don't have any record of you doing anything. Right.
So in this
You
era,
have one
What do
bank
you
account.
actually
You have
produce?
You have a Bank of America account with $400 in it. Like, I don't know how you're a billionaire.
So in this time period, he becomes, they called him a jet setter, and he became, he had his own plane. He had
Oh, yeah.
homes in different places.
Oh,
he's
he's
going,
going-
there. He's going here. He's
People are like,
living the
oh, you're
night,
so cool.
you know?
Oh my God, you're rich.
And he's attending all the right parties,
Oh, yes.
being seen with the right people.
Yes.
It's like what I did in Vegas when I was young and single. I just looked like I was rich, and all this good stuff happened to me.
No, it's true.
I had
Yeah.
$8 in my
It's
wallet.
true.
I was poor.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like,
it's
I literally, I just looked at the part.
Yeah.
I just had the time of my life, and I didn't pay for shit because people just assumed I had money. So I was like, he doesn't have to pay. And I literally
It's
had
weird,
I
isn't
had
it?
no money.
Yeah,
it's
it's
you
weird.
can, but you can do
know.
that. Fake it till you make it.
So something he became known for in this time period is a collector of, it's like a name dropper. You ever meet somebody, who's always name dropping?
Yeah,
Like,
you're
I'm
like-
with important
Oh,
people.
yeah.
I do this.
Wait, but is that like a story topper? Because that's another kind of.
Oh, that's
Oh,
another kind
he's
of.
a-
person.
no,
Yeah.
he's a story,
No, that's
like-
different.
No,
That's
you're
different.
talking about like a name dropper.
Yeah, because
like,
you know what's crazy is I think, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I think those people are less charismatic than most. If they're constantly upping your story.
oh yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
story
That's not
toppers?
a,
Oh my
you can't
God.
get anywhere like that.
No, because then you're just, I'm going to leave now.
Yeah.
Like, leave me
But
alone.
I think what he learned or whatever was that, powerful people.
Well, they need that sign.
They
They're like,
need it, yeah.
oh, you know them? Okay, cool. Like, now I know that you're one of us.
Yes. Yeah.
So what he would do is he would meet people and then he would say, hey, anytime you need to use my plane, call me.
Oh, see, that's the favors. That's where he
Yeah.
starts the favor game.
Right.
So just imagine you're
Now
at a
you owe
party.
me.
You're at a party, and this dude just offered me a plane,
And I'd be
whatever
like-
I want.
You serious about the plane? Though?
Yeah, even if I was not even a big celeb, I would be okay. Here we go. So and we'll talk about it later. But here's an example. So then his plane started to be used by other people. Bill Clinton, Chris Tucker flew on his plane to Africa.
What year is this again? Like,
This is the late 90s and early 2000s.
Because I was just thinking, nowadays, everybody's got their own plane. All these celebrities got their own plane.
I know.
But
Yeah.
back in the day, it was
But now
not-
it's like a
it was not
sharing
really,
thing. Yeah.
Right? I think.
Yeah. I think so. I think it was hard. I think it
Yeah.
was hard.
So then this guy offers you his plane, and you're like, oh yeah, hell yeah.
I mean,
fucking PJ it up.
It's hard not to, especially when you don't know he's a piece of shit at the time. You're like, ooh,
Right.
So
this guy's kind of cool.
Here's an example, right? In the late 90s, Chris Tucker was hot.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was like,
And it was rich.
was
too.
doing Rush Hour.
Yeah, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yeah, Friday. He was
yeah.
friends with
He
Michael
was-
Jackson.
Dude, he
Like,
was massive.
Oh, yeah.
He was huge. Yeah. So he took his plane to do
He's like, I'll take it.
to Africa. He took his plane to Africa to do some AIDS charity.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Okay.
Well, good for you, Tuck.
But he's on the flight logs.
Yep.
Oh, to the island.
No, not to the island, but
No, just-
on the Lolita Express, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Who was? Yeah. Did he have some like?
But I
fucking-
can't say for sure that Chris Tucker participated. You know what I mean?
No.
I don't know, but like maybe.
Well, it does put everybody into question.
Oh,
know,
dude, it's
I
it's like
know.
you're.
They should be interviewed at least, right?
Well, the thing is, in this type of situation, no one is beyond.
another-
no
yeah.
one is beyond reproach. Like,
Yeah.
Everyone is.
I mean, if you're there,
pilots, the
I'm
pilot
sure
needs
we're
to be
gonna get into
interviewed.
this
Like,
with,
what was he doing?
You know,
but
we're gonna get into
but
that.
to be
later.
fair, it wasn't. You walk up to the plane and it says Lolita Express.
Yeah, it's, we.
You know what I mean?
The young chicks aboard. Like,
Yeah.
it's on like the wing.
Okay, so according to the flight logs, Clinton,
Multiple times for Clinton, right?
yeah, several times, 2002, 2003, 1999.
He was all day. He's like, oh, baby, it's a campaign.
At the time, Epstein said, "I invest in people, be it politics or science. It's what I do."
See, that's
he
all.
meant to say, I buy people out.
Yeah, it's like me to say I get shit on them, so then that's the investment. It's the long term investment is make you like me,
Yeah.
get shit on you,
Or
then
even
get
if he
whatever
can't-
I want from
or
you.
even if he can't get something on them, he gives them a favor.
Yes.
And then you
Only a
have a
favor.
little bit. Hey, bro, you used my plane 6 times. Can you invite me to this party where the
yeah.
queen is there?
or it's like, hey, I
you
need
know?
a little loan ski.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do 30 mil for Harvard. Hook a brother up. I know you're good for it. You got
Yeah.
10 billion.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So, so Clinton wasn't
just
the
like that. Shit.
so Clinton wasn't the only president associated with Epstein. Also, Donald Trump was friends with Epstein.
I know about that and the
Yeah.
whole thing at Mar-a-Lago, and there's pictures of them.
Yeah, video of them.
Was Trump on his plane or just at his?
So
Just he was at
So
Mar-a-Lago.
this is the hard part.
He was at Mar-a-Lago.
he also
Well, Trump was,
in Palm
but-
Springs. No, so was
Epstein was there.
Epstein was there.
and then they took a picture together, or they
video.
somebody.
No, there's a whole video.
Oh, there's a whole video. Too.
There's a whole
That's right,
video.
That's right.
Correct.
It's actually pretty funny video. But you got to understand, and this is not for or against Trump.
No.
Right? This is the data. At the time, Trump was not the president.
No, he was just
Right.
a rich dude.
25 years earlier.
Just another billionaire.
Yeah. He's another billionaire.
And let's just take out that fact, but just say he was into women. He was a womanizer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
sure.
He was into it.
And in all due respect, if I was a billionaire at that time, so would I.
Yeah,
I would totally be doing
exactly,
that.
Exactly. And
Models on models,
To
bro.
pretend like we wouldn't
Is a lie.
Yeah.
is kind of pompous.
Yeah.
No, it's like,
Right?
it's like saying like,
oh
hey,
yeah, I wouldn't do that.
hey Sean, you're
you know?
21 and you're a billionaire. What are you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna tell you what.
And here's the conflicting reports. Okay, CNN, New York Post, they all say Trump was in the logs on the plane with his nanny. But they did release the logs.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yes, but half of them are abbreviations.
Like code names and shit.
No, I mean like
Steve
D.
X.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you put D and then you put teenager, and then you know what I mean? And like you're like girl, and you put like
Teenager?
Clinton. Yeah, there's a couple that are like that.
Oh, that's sketch. Yeah.
But there's it's
Clinton's
not all,
easier. Like,
Yeah, it's
who
not
could
like,
it be?
Clinton followed
Yeah.
by like 5 teenagers. Like
Yeah, Clinton, Monica, teenager.
Monica.
But here's the part is it's not like it's Ellis Island or it's not the DMV.
I know. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like
Piece
a,
of
there's like
paper.
a picture of you.
Yeah, and then you're like, yeah.
That's also who's
know?
and also I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure Epstein was keeping those logs for himself. Like,
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
But even if he went on the plane, we just established Chris Tucker went on the plane too.
True.
It doesn't necessarily mean anything.
No,
it
it
just
just-
means
it
that
just-
you knew him.
Yes.
And Trump admits to knowing him.
No, and I think that not even talking about Trump, just like
Yeah.
anybody, I think
it's highly probable that not every single person who went on the plane was fucking young people.
Highly probable. Yeah.
Highly probable.
Yeah, but you say that, and then like that doesn't sound like Trump.
No, but
he doesn't need a ride.
My thing is, everyone who went to the island was fucking doing some sketch shit. I don't think Trump went to the island. Probably was flying on the PJ.
No, but
I could agree with you on that.
Clinton was. I think anyone who went to the island was fucking people.
I think the odds of the island trip are much higher of something went wrong.
Substantially higher.
Yes.
You're there for like 4 days.
Yeah.
You drink like a mojito and you're like, wow, I feel weird.
Yeah.
And then they're like, ugh, pandering to like hot people
right.
at you. You're like, ugh, what's happening?
Yeah. So to just prove this point, in 2002, Trump said to a magazine, he says, I've known Jeff for 15 years. Okay? He enjoys his social life and he likes women on the younger side. He's a terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do.
Well, yeah, Trump
You know what I mean? Like, we know what,
We know.
I'm just trying to say.
We know who Trump is.
Yeah, I'm just trying to say.
we know.
He's made it very clear.
Yeah, I'm just trying to,
Dude just like,
anyways.
fuck supermodel.
So moving on from that. So in 2007, Vanity Fair columnist Michael Wolff told the magazine that he had flown on the private plane in the 90s. Epstein was, quote, was followed onto the plane by, how shall I say this, by 3 teenage girls that were not his daughters. They must have been 18, 19, 20, but they were very model-like.
Oh, well, 18, 19, 20, that's legal, bro. Sorry.
No,
sorry.
I know.
That's
he don't
legal.
know that. He
I
just
know.
thinks that.
Oh, you're right. He did just say he just,
Correct.
They must have been. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He goes on to say
I thought they were going to be like 12, 13. I was like, arrest him.
he goes on and he says he's never been secretive about the girls. At one point when his troubles began, he was talking to me and he said, what can I say? I like young girls. I replied to him and I said, maybe you should say I like young women.
That's a good point. Wow.
Yes.
It's like, maybe you should just stop saying the word girl and say women. He's like, I like teenagers. No, but 18. No, but like, just stop. What are you doing?
Okay, so essentially that is Jeffrey Epstein up to when he started to get
Shit started
get
getting a little weird. Little
yeah.
He
choppy.
started to get
Yes,
careless
that's
and
right.
just didn't give a fuck anymore.
I know he's like, oh, I'm invincible. I'm God now.
Yes. And that's now here's the weird part. Okay, so we went over at the beginning 80 girls, 70 girls, maybe
There was like 30,
you know what I mean?
36
Yes.
that
36,
came.
I think, that
But,
came
but,
forward.
but the reports or the witnesses or the victims or whatever, it usually starts in the late 90s.
Oh, so yeah, so it's like anywhere before that, it was just like nothing.
Yeah. So there that begs the question. It's not like he just started all of a sudden when he was 45 years old.
No, the thing is, even you see,
know what I mean?
You see, like with when the whole Me Too thing happened, but there was a point where women were started to feel more comfortable
talking.
to come forward and be
Yeah,
like, hey,
okay.
this is what happened to me. Like,
Yeah.
you know, this person in power abused me, and there was a fear. Especially, I think the Me Too thing is more tuned towards in the business world.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you have like the power against you to lose your
Yeah.
career, and it sucks.
Taking advantage
Exactly.
as opposed to
but I think the same thing applied where it's like, okay, you're a young girl and you have this guy who's worth billions and he knows all these people, he'll just destroy you.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, you're afraid. I would be fucking afraid.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid if some billionaire was like, yeah, I'll ruin your life. I'd be like, okay, I want to say shit. I'm going to just lay down.
I agree. Yeah.
So yeah, I think especially at that time, it was
good point.
really,
Yeah.
really easy for them to be, what are you going to do?
Yeah, that's a
Can't
good point.
do shit.
That's a good point. Also, it's possible that he created this weird system. I'll go over the system that he created. So I decided that it was very important because there's another individual who's part of this that we should go over this because she's still alive.
Yeah, Ghislaine, she's still on trial, like amidst the trial, or what's happening?
No, I
with
thought that was
No,
done.
she was convicted.
Oh,
and
that's right.
she's-
She was convicted. Yeah,
Yeah, so we'll go over that at the end here.
before she commits suicide.
But okay, so basically, Ghislaine, she was his right-hand man. She was, or right-hand woman, and she not only was his, I guess, lover,
Yeah.
but also she was very much a part of this.
Oh no.
Oh,
she,
yeah,
she,
100%.
she was the doer of the things.
Yeah.
So he would be like, "This is what I want to be done," and she would be the one to do it. She
Yeah.
would
Right.
procure the women. She
Yes.
would she'd do everything.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give you a quick little history of her and how they came together. And then now we'll know all the way leading up to
Yeah, like who
leading
is
up to
she?
okay, now he's starting to do this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So she was born Christmas Day, 1961. She was born in England. 3 days later, so she was 3 years old or 3 days old. Sorry.
Yeah.
3 days later, she was 18.
Transported. Yes. 3 days later, a car carrying her 15-year-old brother, Michael, crashed and alongside Oxfordshire Road, and he spent 7 years in a coma, and then he died.
Oh, fuck. That
Damn.
sucks.
So he was the older brother. Okay. She was born to material abundance. Her father was the publishing tycoon Robert Maxwell.
Father.
Father.
Well, so she was already rich.
Rich,
Yeah,
rich as fuck.
So he owned the Daily Mirror.
I don't know
In
what
Europe.
that is.
It's
like the New York Times or something?
yeah, it's like the Post in Europe. A little bit more scandalous-y and a little bit more
but
like
still huge.
I know they're like, the Queen's drinking fucking rum.
But so, I mean, accounts say that her early years were riddled with neglect because they were super upset about the brother dying.
And your dad's a tycoon, so he's
Yeah,
like, I
and
gotta
it
work.
was just, you know, so
The nannies will feed you.
yeah.
Shut up.
So there was abuse.
Abuse.
Yeah, physical abuse and emotional abuse, and
From the
you
parents
know,
or the
from the
nannies,
dad
or-
specifically. Yeah.
That doesn't excuse her. It just sucks.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a sad story.
Throughout her childhood, she would attend these lavish parties, and they were thrown at Headington Hill Hall, and it was like politicians, celebrities, VIPs, etc. But then, and there were tons of these parties over and over and over. But everybody would leave, and she would be all by herself, and it was just like a weird childhood to be brought up.
Yeah,
in,
like, what the
you know,
fuck?
in these big,
Find
huge-
your own way home,
yeah,
Ghislaine.
Exactly. Yes. And her dad came from Czechoslovakia, and he was Jewish, and his entire family was killed in the Holocaust.
Oh, fuck.
Damn.
And so he became a war hero, and then he became a publishing magnate, and then he owned the Daily Mirror, and then he became a billionaire.
Yeah, he was
basically.
killing the
Or
game,
a millionaire.
yeah.
I don't know. If,
Killing the game.
heavy millionaire.
Yeah.
Not like one.
But like,
Yeah, but like
tens to hundreds.
yeah. There
A
you go,
deca.
exactly.
A
Yeah.
deca million.
Decamillion. I know people like, I think people abuse it. Like get to like $1 million, $1. I'm a millionaire.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, not really.
I'm a multi-millionaire. I made 1 million one.
It's like, I made $1 million twice because I lost and I made it back again. It's like I lost the dollar and made the dollar back. Multi times. I mean, I'm talking shit, but I've never done it. So
I
So,
know.
like, I wish I did. I wish I could say that.
So at first she was neglected. And then over time, she became the favorite one, actually. She became the favorite one of the dad. And this was just a constant trying to please her dad, and keep him happy,
I was
etc.
waiting for the full on rebellion phase. Fuck
Right.
you, Dad.
Yeah, no, and she became a socialite, and so she would attend these grand parties with him, and she was, gracious, and she had charisma, and she talked the talk, and she was the rich, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On his arm, and
And she was actually rich, but she didn't have to lie.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly. So eventually, she became his favorite.
Yeah.
right. So much so that he named his
like,
boat
like the heiress,
the Lady Ghislaine.
Oh, Lady Ghislaine.
So his boat was named after her. You know what I mean?
I wish it one day, my sweet daughter.
Yeah.
I'll name a boat after you. I know. It's like,
My boat. It's after you.
Maxwell Sr., he really had high hopes for her. He even wanted her to marry JFK Jr.
I mean, so did every
Yeah,
dad.
I know.
Marry the Kennedys, baby. Trust
She
me.
went to Oxford. She studied history,
Oh, wow.
languages. A fellow student named Anna Pasternak, she said of Ghislaine, she said, she was one of those people at parties who were always looking over your shoulder to see if there was somebody more powerful or more interesting while she was air kissing you. I don't like that quote because it's kind of after the fact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're kind of fishing a little bit for, yeah, I knew she was a rapist.
Yeah, I always look over my shoulder like
Yeah.
she's trying to touch my butthole.
Yeah. I knew she just wanted to bang. And, of course.
Like, of course, 20 years later, I always knew it.
So after graduating Oxford, she was appointed by her father to be a director at Oxford United, which was the football club or soccer club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
United.
Yeah. Anyway, so she became this massive socialite, millionaire. She founded a private club exclusively for women.
Oh, wow.
And it was like to champion feminism and be whatever.
Yeah, they hang out, talk shit about their
Whatever that
husbands.
entails.
Whatever that bullshit is.
I already don't like it.
We're going to get 6 bad
I
reviews
know.
for that. Just that alone.
We love women. Trust me. Like
Big time.
big time. I am
Hell
I am,
of time.
I am very subservient to my wife. Just so you know, ladies, I follow orders. Anyways,
So in 91, her father acquired the New York Daily News.
oh wow, this guy's
So she was sent
Really?
to New York to be the ambassador of the
you're gonna
family.
Go take this shit over.
And that's
Yeah.
when she entered the social scene. Hey guys, hope we're enjoying the show so far. We wanted to take a break and just remind you of the different ways that you can support our podcast. The first and foremost is you can subscribe by clicking the follow button on Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts. It's on the show page. It's really easy. You just click it and subscribe. What this does is it makes it so you get notified every new release that comes out. Another way is by simply following us on social media. This is Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, etc. But one of the best ways that you can support our podcast is to help us grow. And how do you do that? You can share the show with friends and family. Okay, thanks a bunch, everybody. Now back to the show.
This whole thing reminds me of what's that HBO?
Succession?
Succession.
Yeah.
It's like reminds me of like the guy
I know because
and
it's
then
news.
the daughter. Yeah, it's
I know.
like,
Yeah, like Siobhan.
Yeah.
Siobhan.
Yeah,
whatever her
that
fucking
girl.
name is. I hate her. By the way,
It's a good show, by the way.
It's a great show, but I hate her. I despise her.
But in November of 91, her father went on the Lady Ghislaine in the Canary Islands. Right?
Into the Bermuda Triangle.
Boat went missing.
Into the Triangle of Death.
What?
The boat went missing. It turned up. They found the boat, and his body was floating in the sea, and he died.
Shit.
Very interesting.
So she was
Bermuda Triangle, I'm telling
devastated.
you.
She was devastated.
She wasn't there too.
She wasn't there. She flew straight to where the yacht had been taken. She was inconsolable. She had to give a speech. You can go see the speech.
You
on
automatically think
YouTube.
that she did it.
What's crazy is they don't know.
Who's on the
They,
manifest?
they ruled it as an accident.
No, I mean it does happen.
Yeah, it does happen.
You know,
Yeah,
he probably.
sure.
You know, I don't need the crew. I'm fucking ball. Shut the fuck up. I'm the
I
mom.
would
I'm the
have to look.
boss.
I would have to look into it more. I don't think he took the boat out of the yacht himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he.
But like,
we'd
how
have
did
to
the
look into it
crew not? What happened to the crew?
more. I don't know. He's having a cocktail up on deck.
See, that's the only thing
You
about
know,
when you're that
and then-
rich and you have a boat that big. It's like you can't drive it yourself.
No.
there's
No.
people on the boat
No.
at all times.
No. Yeah.
It's not like me. I'm gonna go out. Yeah, and then, like, I'm like my 2-seater.
No, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, a rowboat, I would take you along to help row.
kayak.
I know. Then we're both dead.
Yeah.
They're like, we found an empty case of beer, and there's.
So her whole world was shaken, right? And then it came out right afterwards that Robert had raided the company's pension fund, which was $580 million.
Wow.
And he
Robert
took it.
Robert is her dad.
It's her dad, right? So he's the CEO of the company and the owner and the founder-in-law.
Yeah,
but he took the pension
Yeah.
of all 32,000 employees,
That's a lot of employees.
and they all lost their pension.
What did he do with it?
What?
Nobody knows.
Oh, and then he just magically.
That's a lot of money.
But dude,
500 million.
the thing is that then he magically dies. That money went, dude. That's what I'm saying. There's nefarious play.
Right.
Aren't there? Isn't this
Yes.
like?
It's not like, oh, it's karma. Like no,
No.
People do that shit all the time, and they're still living their best life right now.
Then it became this whole court thing and the British government and all these people. The British government eventually paid 100 million towards the bailout of the fund to at least
So you're like-
alleviate 32,000
give them
employees.
something. Yeah.
Dude, that's
Yes.
so fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so fucked.
Yeah. In 92, 2 of the sons, so her brothers, were charged with fraud
Oh, for the same thing or different shit?
for the same thing.
Oh, they were a part of it.
Oh.
They were all part of the company, but they were acquitted 5 years later.
Oh, was it because Ghislaine?
Oh, they
was
were
it?
just charged.
They
but
were
weren't.
charged.
Okay.
Oh, she didn't actually. But she was.
she was part of the football team. That's it.
But why did she go to New York to like be the ambassador? I don't know. It seems like you're part of the company.
yeah. So
Yeah.
she continued to
that's a good
defend him. She continued to defend him, saying he wasn't a crook.
He just
A
needed
thief.
to borrow the cash. Like-
She said, "A thief to me is somebody who steals money. Do you think that my father did that? No, I don't know what he did.
But the
obviously something happened. Did he put it in his own pocket? Did he run off with the money? No. And that's my definition of a crook.
So she's like, look, he took it, but he didn't give it to himself, so he's not a thief. He's just a borrower. He just borrowed it for a purpose that I don't know why.
All of her siblings, except that he died as an accident or killed himself. Okay. She always insisted he was murdered.
I think he was murdered.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Especially because he took all that cash out.
Yeah.
It's really interesting and it happens right then. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So during all this is chaos. This is her home country. Her whole family's coming apart. Her dad dies. All of this.
Yeah, it's kind of
she doesn't have any money anymore.
Yeah, now she's like us.
She's done, right? So
Back to being a peasant.
And it's reported
she's never going back to New York.
No, she pieces out of Europe. She buys a one-way ticket to New York. All she had, this is what she did have. Although she's still richer than we are. But
I know, it's like even when she's broke, she's still richer than us.
She was given $106,000 a year in a trust fund.
Oh, for the rest of her life.
For the rest of her life, yeah.
It's like, God, only have 10 million left.
All I get is 100.
Only 106K in the 80s, and like so it's like 500K now. Like the fuck.
Yeah, seriously. So does it say like what happened to the company? Did it shut down or it keeps going?
Totally.
Or it had
totally
shut
sold
down?
out,
Okay.
sold off basically
right.
to other people
to try to pay off the 32,000 employees.
That's
or
right,
whatever.
all their pension.
Yeah.
All
right, so she's like got nothing.
She's got nothing except for the 106 a year.
Right.
Which is not nothing.
Yeah.
I know, right?
It's a lot of something, actually.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
Yeah. So essentially, she then moved to New York and she continued to be a socialite. And somebody introduced her to a man by the name of Jeffrey Epstein at a dinner.
And he's like, if you need to use a jet, just let me
And they created a relationship. Now, the interesting part is nobody really knows what kind of relationship they had. Obviously, they were sexual. They never married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So?
But they would share. Maybe they were just sexually open.
Fluid.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or like friends with benefits, but like you're also going to do all my dirty jobs and like.
He's like, that 106K is not going to sustain you.
So then
you need some more
so
money.
then she got her way into a penthouse in New York, about a $5 million penthouse in the early 90s. No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
That was supposedly paid by Epstein. And then she's back on track.
Now she's like, right where I started.
Yeah. And that is when things got out of control.
As fuck.
Or at least the reports and the witnesses. And so that's when they as a team started to abuse people. And so what they would do
They got real streamline.
Yeah, they would recruit girls that were young. And they would recruit these girls to come and to give him a massage and to give him pleasure and then to be a sexual person for them and pay them.
And to then do that for other people.
That's right. And so
this was happening in New York, Miami.
It was happening. It was in New York, Florida. It was happening all.
But initially in the 90s, they both moved to New York.
Yeah,
and he had the big penthouse. You know, the 77 million.
He had the big house.
Oh, the house, not even a penthouse.
It's like a
So
house.
they start recruiting these girls, and it's like, hey, you want to make some extra money?
Yes.
Probably girls don't have money,
and it's probably way more money than they would ever make.
Certain type of girl that they go
Starbucks.
after,
Right. Yeah. That's where we're going to stop this episode because the next episode we're going to talk about the abuse.
Yeah.
We'll try to, it's a really rough thing, and especially because a lot of people, their lives were ruined forever for it, and we don't want to. Obviously, we joke.
I was just about to do a disclaimer. Like, I don't want you all to think that we're insensitive to this because we're not.
Yeah.
But the whole purpose of this podcast is to be able to. We want to discuss these topics and these subjects, but still have it be fun to be with us and discuss it.
Yeah.
Us making a joke or something, it doesn't mean we're trying to make light of the situation. When Jeffrey Epstein, like what happened to these girls is fucking appalling.
Yeah.
If anything, both me and Jorge have daughters.
Yeah.
If anything like that happened to one of our daughters, trust me, I'm not like,
right.
it's
No,
not
and-
fucking,
Yeah, exactly.
not fucking
We're all
funny.
involved
Yeah,
in,
it's not like fun.
Even groups and charities that fight this
Yeah.
kind of stuff, and
Yeah, that's right.
So I just wanted to make it known that we do care. It just
but we got to go
It's
over it,
hard-
and,
no,
we
it's
don't,
really-
and we don't want to sit here and be just
No,
depressed
no.
for the next
Depressed,
hour.
Because you know why? This is my thought on it. Is it's actually really hard to confront.
Yeah.
So much
So much
horrible,
shit.
so
Yeah.
evil,
Fucking
right?
evil.
And it's
Yeah.
hard to confront that. So sometimes we'll, if we try to make it lighter and we can do that.
Yeah,
then,
so like you
then
don't feel
let's
like
try to confront it.
Yeah, by the time you get to work, you don't feel like shit. Like, it's like going to
Exactly.
the office like, great, I'm gonna hate everybody. Like, at least okay, it happened, and now I understand more about it. If I didn't know about it before, and it was just us trying to make it better for you.
That's right.
Because we're making it better for each other to discuss it. Because I think sex trafficking is honestly the biggest. It's the biggest issue on earth. And I don't think it gets the light that it gets.
Yeah, that's right. So
people are more fucking worried
we're gonna
about like looking, who's going to be elected? Who gives a shit? Like
when you got these kind of issues for
it's
sure. Yeah.
bullshit.
So next episode, we are going to go into a lot of the victims.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there were 4 recruiters that were women.
Mm-hmm. Who would recruit the recruit
I didn't know there
girls?
was 4. I did know that there was multiple ones.
There were 4 recruiters, or main recruiters, who were also victims.
Oh wow! So they got
Oh
man, it's just
it's
you're
multi-leveled situation. So you abuse somebody,
and then they're tied in. They're locked in,
and then you get them to do.
They don't want to get abused
your own
anymore,
bidding.
and then, so they'll get more people.
Psycho, but it doesn't justify what they did because they are the ones who brought them in. Anyways, it's crazy. Yeah. So we'll go into that next episode. Love you guys. Thank you.
All right, guys. See you next time. Fuck.
Nighty night.
Nighty.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to reach out to us, please email us at info@theconspiracypodcast.com. You can check us out on Instagram at @conspiracypodcast. Also, don't forget to subscribe. You can catch a new podcast almost every week. Just hit the little subscribe button at the top. It's a plus sign. We love show ideas, corrections, hate mail. Thanks a bunch.